Like the jog wheel is way more relaxed, there are way more options, it's way more sensitive. Compared to the previous one, it's better to play the scratch, I think. But the touchscreen is way too confusing. It makes you feel like you can search for everything instead of like going into your memory and just remember your playlist and going through the list, and you're being way too focused on looking for tracks and edits or whatever you're looking for instead of just like performing and interacting with the crowd.
I don't think I will use it that much, but it's an interesting thing to move between chords actually. And when you have another track playing and you can sort of make your own chord changes, which is interesting, I think. And especially when you use that with, for example, loops from your own tracks or like an a cappella, or that's interesting. But I think the way it transposes the whole track, it's not there yet, I think. But it's a good first step.
We don't even have to discuss this. Like, I personally, I think this option should be like cut off immediately. It shouldn't even be put on. Like, when you start out as a DJ, like the way I started out as a DJ, especially on the CDJs, like we would just like tape like the whole BPM off and just like listen to the music, because you always can get into a situation where it's like you make a mistake when you're playing on jog mode or whatever, or by vibration the track skips, or your USB, you have to like be focused on what you hear instead of what you see. Like, this is not math, it's just like listening to music and creating new beats and rhythms and genres. That's what it's all about. So skip this option.
For me, the most BS one is the reverse button and the slip function. I never use that. But I can imagine that there's a lot of DJs that do use it, but the reverse, no.
I didn't really use it, but I seen DJ Abstract do something very cool with it. There's a song by Missy Elliott where you see raps reversed. So he put the reverse button, then the song was normal.
Reverse it. It's your primitive is when yet. It's your primitive is when yet. Thing down, flip it and reverse it. Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
So it was very cool.
I think I invented effects. like I put effects like on all my tracks, in the breaks, on the drops. Like that's like my signature move. Yeah.
Yeah, I use the echo sometimes and the filter.
Reverb and echo. That's the only one, I think.
I use loops a lot, yeah. Especially because we play a lot of old music as well, and they're mostly not recorded with a click track. It's just the whole band in the studio together, so the tempo goes up and down, floats a little bit.
Yeah, because I like to switch tempos, so I loop 90 BPM track, I loop it, a piece, like a vocal piece or something, and then I switch the tempo to 128, something like this, and then I directly mix another track in it, and then you get like a very dynamic set.
No, DJ gear is absolutely important in this time, because you can add way more details to the tracks. You can focus more on your performance, and yeah, of course, like all the specs make it way more convenient to like focus like on the story of what you're trying to tell when you're playing, instead of like scratching and mixing and doing all those type of things that make the crowd want to think you're a good DJ. So yeah.
No, I don't think so. Because when I started DJing, I started with vinyl. So, and you can do half the things which you can do it here, you can do with the vinyl. So, and it was still good performances then. So.
I think they listen to the people, because there were some things that I dislike, but now yeah, they mix like things from the Nexus 1 and the Nexus 2, and they put it both together, and like some more things like the touchscreen. So I think this one is perfect now.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. That's a definite upgrade. I really like the bigger screen. It's a bit more in sync with the record box look, which makes it easier, I think.
I like the hot cues. There are many hot cues. I like some functions with loops. Yeah, the big touchscreen, more options, easy to use.
I don't feel like a significant difference compared to the CDJ-3000 Nexus.
I think the energy of the crowd. Sometimes I had like 4 gigs a day, sometimes 5, and I was very tired, and I came to the stage and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to play it. And then I I come on the stage and I'm started playing and people were very giving me the energy. So I think this is I enjoy the most, the energy of the crowd.
Festivals are nice when you play outside and the weather is good. I like that. But I enjoy the most is when you have interaction with the crowd. So when you play songs and the crowd really reacts to them, and maybe not the most well-known tracks.
The DJing, yeah, no, I think just playing music and getting. I think there's one special moment what happens with DJing, and it doesn't happen that often, to be honest. But when it happens, it's you know, it's magic. When it sounds really corny, but there is a moment where there's no difference between the crowd and you. So basically, yes, you're playing the music, but you are enjoying as much as they are, and they are enjoying as much as you are, and you are in that moment together without you being the DJ and there being the crowd. It's just you're there enjoying that moment, and that doesn't. Yeah, again, it's quite rare actually to get to that point, but it is the ambition to get there every time.
Well, without sounding too deep, like I find myself an artist who has a goal, like I'm here to educate you and entertain you at the same time. I'm trying to surprise people, you know what I mean? Like get out of their comfort zone, because that's exactly what I'm doing when I'm playing. Like a lot of times people ask me, what do you play? I'm like, yeah, I play house music. And they were like, yeah, but the track you were playing was a techno track. I was like, no, it's house. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to get out of the box and play whatever you stand for.